Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with a gaming PC build for $750. So this is a very powerful system that's really focused on giving you some really good 1080p gaming performance. To give you an example, I loaded up a few graphically intensive games such as Battlefield 3, which the $750 PC was easily able to run even on full ultra settings. Next up, we have Far Cry 3, which is still a fantastic looking game. So for this one, I did have to turn the anti-aliasing down just a bit, but beyond that, all settings are set to ultra and it still looks absolutely awesome. Moving on, we have Crysis 3, which in my opinion is one of the best looking PC games yet. So for this one, we were able to run it on high settings with a bit of anti-aliasing, definitely not totally maxed out, however even on high this game looks absolutely phenomenal. Last but not least, we have BioShock Infinite. Now this isn't an incredibly demanding game, however the art style, the colors, everything absolutely looks awesome. And with this one we are able to run it completely maxed out with ultra settings at 1080p. To kick the build off, we're going to be using an Intel Core i5-3470 processor. So this is a great choice for a gaming build like this. So it has a quad-core design with 4 proper cores as opposed to hyper-threading or anything else like that. And it also is able to turbo all the way up to 3.6 GHz. On top of that, since it is a Core i5, that means that you're going to have plenty of performance for not only games, but on top of that you can also do things such as video editing, all for about $185. For a motherboard, we're going to be using an MSI B75 MAP45. So I've used this one before in a previous build and I liked it quite a bit, as it gives you pretty much everything that you need. So it does support up to 32 GB of RAM, so if you ever want to upgrade that, you can feel free. And it also does have both USB 3.0 support as well as SATA 3.0 support. So if you'd like, you can always grab an SSD, toss it in there, and you're going to be good to go for a pretty awesome upgrade to your computer. As well, of course, since it is a B75 board, it does support the Intel Core i5, so you're going to be good to go there, all for about $65. For a graphics card, we're going to be using an XFX Radeon 7870. Now this is an awesome choice for a 1080p card. Like I showed you guys in the benchmarks, it will pretty much handle any game you throw at it on high or even ultra settings without breaking a sweat. On top of that, since it is outfitted with 2 GB of memory, it's definitely going to be able to handle some of the newer games such as BioShock, which really do need a lot of memory to run nice and smooth without any problems at all. With all of this for about $240, this is a great choice for our build. For memory, we're going to be using 8 GB of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 RAM. Now I've been using this stuff in a lot of my builds these days, and that's for a good reason. It's fast, so it is clocked at 1600 MHz, which is in my opinion the sweet spot for an Ivy Bridge based system. And on top of that, with 8 GB of this stuff, you're going to have plenty of extra memory for all kinds of multitasking, gaming, all that kind of fun stuff for about $60. For a hard drive, we're going to be using a 1TB Western Digital Caviar Black. Now this is a great choice for a gaming build like this, as it's going to deliver a lot of performance, not quite as much as an SSD. However, of course, it's much cheaper than a 1TB SSD. And on top of that, it's also going to be very reliable, as it does have a good warranty, and of course, Western Digital makes some great hard drives. Now I will say that if you guys want more or less storage, you can get that. So I chose the 1TB version for this one. However, you can also pick this up in a 500 GB version as well as a 2TB version, and I'll have both of those links in the description of this video. Anyway though, if you do want to go with the 1TB version, it's going to run you about $90. For a case, we're going to be using the NZXT Source 220. Now I like this for several reasons. For starters, you do have pretty good airflow, considering the fact that it does have both a 120 as well as a 140mm fan to keep things nice and cool, as well as it does have USB 3.0 support, and most importantly of all, at least for a budget build like this, is that it's easy to work in. So a lot of times when you get a budget case, it's going to be a lot of rough edges and it's really not easy to put anything together. However, with this one, everything is nicely laid out, you have plenty of room, all for about $50. For the power supply, we're going to be using a 500 watt Corsair CX500. Now this is a great choice for this build. With 500 watts of capacity, that's going to be more than enough to handle everything we have in there now, as well as some future upgrades. And on top of that, since it is an 80+ bronze certified power supply, that means that it's not only going to be high quality, but also going to deliver some pretty solid efficiency, all for about $58. So there you have it, an awesome $750 gaming PC build. Now of course prices are always changing, so I'll have links to everything I mentioned in the description of this video, as well as some additional options. So if you guys want to do some upgrades like a DVD drive or an SSD, they will also be in the description of this video. If you're interested in more, feel free to check out my last build, where I went over a $500 gaming PC. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to leave this video a thumbs up, and if you're interested in more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Anyway guys, I will catch you next time.